Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy LOZA, and we're looking at the big Shining Sark, Dark Magician, if you want to call it that. All right, let's get into it. This is what we played at locals today because the ref list has been going 2-1 consistently, and I want to get this list doing something consistently. It's probably the worst deck, surprisingly. I thought this deck would be way better than DM, but ref.deck is just better. Anyway, we might try to find a way to add ref or branded fusion into this deck, but for now we're not playing them. Two of the Dark Magician. The reason being is you kind of want to open one of them because it sets up your combo. And the combos with Gandora to make a Hope Harbinger. It's kind of too many steps to make Hope Harbinger, though. You can get Nibiru, and it's not great. But we played some cards this week to help with that. But yeah, Gandora is good. It's your going second wipe the field. It's also just like, I don't know, it's just a free extender a lot of the time. If you have Shining Saga, you can just summon it for free. So it's kind of good. Here is the normal summon of the deck. We're going to be playing the triple gadget. Normal this, grab any Shining Sark, spell trap. Pretty good. Pretty good considering you need to find Shining Sark or you're just not playing with this deck. So, yeah, it's cool. And then the last two monsters, we've got the one Silent Magician 0 and one Silent Swordsman 0. This guy was on 3,500 attack today, so that's really cool. But yeah, that's the monster lineup. I don't see that changing too much. The Summon Skull card is interesting. I really think they missed the mark on it, though. I think it should have been the same as these two. Like, these are the boss monsters that special themselves for free if Shining Sark's out. I don't know why the Skull guy is not the same. Like, Summon Skullman, you should be in this deck. But Gadget is the normal summon. Like, I'm afraid. I can't see myself not normaling Gadget every turn kind of thing. So, anyway, monster lineup's quite small, but, like, I don't know, gets the job done. I do think the deck needs more support, unfortunately, but it's just the case. We're playing triple pot of Prosp before we get into the Shining Sark spells, but I think you all know what they are. This card helps find your crossouts or your call buys or just your gold Sarks if you got hand trapped, because you need gold Sark. If you don't have Shining Sark, rather, you just can't play the game, so it really sucks. Three Future Silence, because Future Silence adds any Shining Sark monster, so it can get you the missing piece, which is normally just Gadget because you need Shining Sark. Speaking of Shining Sark, here is Shining Sark. You do need this card to make the whole deck work, which is why we're playing Pot of Prosper as well. You need to find this card, and if you don't, you kind of just lose the game then and there. So I feel like we need another way to confirm this card. I know we've already got triple Future Silence and, oops, sorry, that's the wrong cards. We've got triple Gadget, which is obviously your normal summon to get it, so three ways there. We've got three copies of Sark itself, and we've got three Future Silence. So we've got 9 copies. Somehow, with 9 copies, it's still not enough. Like, we need more than 9. How crazy is that? We need one card engine to be 12 cards or something. But anyway, I'm hoping we get some future support, but I don't know what that would be. But yeah. The last 2 spells we're going to be playing from this deck, or from the Shining Sark core, is going to be the Ties That Bind and Turn Silence. Nice one-offs that you normally search at the end of your combo stuff, and they kind of get the job done. But yeah, this is great when you're going second pushing the game through. You can just summon 2 extra bodies to swing. It's pretty good. But I find this card's best use is when your opponent's hand trapped all the stuff you wanted to do, and then you can just go for this if you either have a way to search it or if you just have it in hand. It's quite good. Turn Silence. Oh, Turn Silence finally came up today, able to negate an effect. But I also had Imperm when I had it, so I was kind of like, well, I could have just Impermed anyway. But, you know, boosting my Silent Swordsman up to 3,500 with this was pretty funny. For those who don't know, your monster gains 3 levels, which, you know, if this was any other deck, you'd be like, why do I give a shit about that? Quick play, gain 3 levels. After that, you can, if it was in response to an opponent's monster effect activation, while you control Shining Sark and a monster that mentions it, you can negate that effect. So much text to simply say negate. Like, I don't know why they had to make it so freaking specific, but yeah. Anyway, you can also banish this card from grave and end the battle phase during damage calc, which is interesting. It hasn't come up yet, but sure, that's a cool effect. But yeah, this is the spell lineup. There are some other spells later, but this is like, you know, all the Shining Sark consistency and engine, if you want to call it that. So yeah, that's the pretty much end of the Shining Sark shenanigans. So let's get on to the hand traps. We're of course playing triple shifter, and to complement shifter, we have to play hand traps and engines that work with it. So Ash Blossom doesn't care how it's discarded or where it goes. It can go to banish, it's fine. So that's one hand trap we're going to be playing. We've also got Imperm, which doesn't give a shit where it goes. So once again, the shift is fine. Nibiru doesn't care at all because it's just tributing the field. It doesn't care where everything goes. And it was a cross-out target more than anything. And same with this Droll and Lock. Well, Droll and Lock, sorry, is the odd one out here. Droll and Lock says when a player adds a card from deck to hand, you can send this from hand to grave. So this is the odd guy out, okay? This is the fella who's not part of the squad. But it has to be here as a cross-out target because everyone's playing frickin' Droll right now because it stops Fiendsmith. So yeah, we're getting punished for Fiendsmith's sins. What's new? You know, we'd be taking hits because the meta be like this. But anyway, Droll be... today I drolled someone too, so the one-of sometimes you get in your hand and you're like, oh well, I just use it. But yeah, it came up for cross-out. Ash and Droll came up for cross-out today, nothing else. But yeah. Dimensional Shifter, I finally opened it today in my 4th round. For those who don't know last locals, I didn't see it in 4 rounds, and I was like, come on, man, it at least like gives this deck a freaking win condition. Wow, that was the whole main? No, I lied. There's still more. There's still more. We've still got, of course, Crossout and Called By. Maybe I could play a third Crossout, but I don't feel like there's enough oomph here yet. So what I'm thinking is we need maybe branded fusion or even ref stuff to do something, because the Dragoon we make in this combo is really lacking. But yeah, 3 Super Poly. It's alright. It's not like as good as you think it would be. I don't know. Super Poly I feel like it's got to be a game winner, game ender, and it just kind of wasn't that today, but oh well. It gives the deck some going second, but maybe it could just be branded fusion instead. 1 village. We got a bunch of one-offs coming up. 1 village because... you know, we have a big dumbass spellcaster and you can kind of lock your opponent out of playing. It's pretty funny. If you combo Village with something like there can only be 1, it's pretty degenerate. And we have to play Secrets of Dark Magic at 1, unfortunately, because part of our combo, which is this guy destroying himself, or sorry, Gandora destroying Dark Magician, lets you summon the Dark Magician back out, and then you can set the secret so then that you can make the Dragoon just off these 2 cards you see here. So yeah. We'll show you how to do that combo later, but I'm pretty sure I've shown it off a couple of times by now, but some people might be new here, so we might do that. But before we do that combo, let's get into... sorry, I just bumped the stand. Let's get into the good old extra deck, not side. We'll go to the side at the very end if people stick around. Extra deck's pretty straightforward. Dragoon. Card very good. So we make it and we play it. A lot of Super Poly targets. Predaplant Dragos Stapelia being one of them. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Garura. I think this was one of the only ones made today. 3 Darks, which, you know, some decks. Ubel was my idea here. Earth Golem Adagnist are really good into the Snake Eyes end board, which normally Appaloosa IP. That just gets rid of both. Ubel, because haha, Ubel and effect monsters out the whole board. Kind of goes in the same category as this Predaplant guy, but yeah. And then just Mud Dragon. So heaps of Super Poly targets because we are playing Prosp, and it's like, cool, we'll just go all in on targets and not really give a shit. So already that's taken up, what, 8 slots of the extra deck. It's pretty big. Pretty big. If you think of any other fusion targets for Super Poly, let me know. I was playing the Salad one because we have a Salad player at our locals, but he wasn't in, so I decided I took it out before the tournament. Access Code and Selene and Dark. You guys pretty much all know what this do. At this point, you go on to Dark, you summon back opponent's monster, you go on to Selene, you summon back one of your spellcasters, you go on Access Code. Like, it's a great package. Should probably be playing the Light Charmer as well, but I don't have it yet. So we played one Barricade Borg blocker because it protects field spells. So I thought it can protect Village, it can protect Gold Sark, and you can discard one in the end phase and add a continuous spell trap. So sorry, continuous spell or field spell. It never came up, but it was just, I just linked into it once to sit there and be annoying. It was okay. I think it could probably be anything else in the game, but whatever. Yeah, I tested it out. And then the Draglubian package, which basically is you make a rank 8, summoning this guy. You detach a material from it, and you can summon out either Numeron Dragon and swing for game, or Hope Harbinger and swing for game. So it's pretty straightforward on that front. But, yeah, let's get into the combos you're going to be trying to do when you play this deck. Pardon me. you're going to need to open up one of the Dark Magician or the Gandora and Gold Sark / Shining Sark. But it can also be Gadget, but then it can also screw up your combo if it is Gadget. So we kind of have to go over the combo in a number of ways. So apologies, but this is going to take a bit because there's numerous ways we have to do the same combo. It's a little bit jank, but bear with me while we go through all of them. So the very first combo is going to be just you opening up one of the pieces in Shining Sark, because it's probably the simplest way we can go through it. So you're going to start by activating Shining Sark, and Shining Sark is going to say, hey, go get the missing piece. So now you should have Gandora and DM in your hand. Activate DM to summon, activate Gandora to summon, activate Gandora's effect to nuke the field. So this is going to destroy and banish the Dark Magician, and then from your deck you're going to be able to summon the other Dark Magician because you destroyed a guy, and you can increase his level by 1 because you've destroyed this Dark Magician. This Dark Magician says, hey, you got destroyed and there's a level 5 or higher, summon yourself back and set a DM spell trap. You can set secrets. I think I want to try out the Shining Sark trap Mirror Force, but for now, we're trying this because it makes Dragoon. So you get to set that, and then before you go to your opponent's turn, you're going to want to overlay. And that reason being is you can make a cool card. So, you know, we kind of like making cool cards. But I've lost the cool card. These two are the level 8s. To make Draglubian, attach a material, it doesn't matter which one. And you get to summon out those guys I spoke about earlier. So if you're going first, you normally just make Hope Harbinger. And now on your opponent's turn in the draw phase, you're going to be able to go Secrets of Dark Magic, fusing away the Draglubian and the Dark Magician. And of course, that makes your wonderful Dragoon. So, you know, it's a 2-card combo, and you get 2 guys that are pretty cool. So that's cool. It's you normally get hand trapped on the way there though, so it doesn't quite resolve that way. So let's go over the other way to do that combo, because there is a number of ways to do it, because level modulation is annoying. So yeah, let's get into that. So let's say you opened Gadget Trio as your way to Shining Sark, and then you opened one of the second pieces we spoke about. Well, yeah, you can still do the combo, but it's a little more jank, so let's go over it. You're going to start by normal summoning Trio. Trio gets you the Sark. You're going to activate the Sark. Sark's going to get you the missing piece. So your hand right now looks like this, and now you've added the Gandora or the missing piece, whether it was, you know, one or the other, doesn't matter. Great, now you have both. You can now summon the DM. You can now summon the Gandora. Gandora effect, blow the field, but this time you're blowing up your poor Gadget too. So the monster you summon, the DM you summon, is going to have its level modulated by 2 this time, which is big problem. So what you do instead of summoning the DM, because there's no point summoning a level 9 DM, is you're going to summon Silent Magician 0 instead, and you give it the 2 levels, right? So that's really nice. I should have some dice around here somewhere, but I can't find them at the time of this recording, so we're going to use these 2 rocks right here. So there you go. We got 2 extra levels on there. And now, of course, this Dark Magician's effect will activate to summon himself back, and you can still set your secrets. Based past your opponent's turn in the draw phase, you're going to Secrets, fusing these 2 away and making your Dragoon. And then your Silent Magician 0 effect is going to go off as well, and that's going to give it a 3rd level. So, bam! This thing is on 2500 attack, is a spell negate, and this is an Omni negate. And you got here for 2 cards, so you should still have 3 in your hand. I can do maths, I swear. So yeah, your hand should look like this. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully, like, you've got 1 discard for Dragoon, and you've got like 1 hand trap and 1 something else. Let's see. Okay, no, that's all engine. Well, that sucks. But you see what I mean? That's the combos we're trying to do most of the time. I'll show you what you can do if you also open up a little more than that. So before you do the secrets play, let's say you... What am I trying to do here? I'm not even sure. So you've got a board that looks like this, right? And you've set the secrets. So if you do have ties that bind, you can ties that bind. Unironically, a Marshmallow card would be pretty good here, but now, unfortunately, gonna have the ties that bind Silent Magician 0 and just a Gadget in like defense mode. But yeah, I think, did this combo start with Gadget? It did. So this Gadget has no effect. But you at least get the Silent Magician 0 protection. So if you do open ties that bind, it's a great, like, extra protector guy. So I guess another way the deck could be improved if we had, like, a 3rd Silent, but I don't think there is. I think there's a Silent Paladin, but I don't think it was associated with the silent monsters really too much. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, but it kind of just gives you, one extra thing rather than two. Naturally, you want to make this board every turn, fuse into your Dragoon, and then hopefully on your opponent's turn you've got like a Super Poly set down here. Ideally, you have this card, Village, up, because then, like, you win the game. But obviously, if you have, like, there can only be one, you have to send one of your spellcasters to the grave. So you normally want to use the spell negate first, then flip there can only be one, and then kind of get rid of it, if that makes sense. But if you can, you save that there can only be one until you really have to flip it. But the other option is you can just summon Swordsman Zero if you do open there can only be one, so that, you don't curse yourself, but having a spell negate's good. But if you have Village, you don't need the spell negate, so, it's kind of a thing. But anyway, I'm just going over all the extra stuff you can have to make your plays pretty good. Even if you have, like, Call by Crossout, it might be worth to set those. But that's probably about it. That's probably as peak. Oh, sorry, I lied. I was going to say that's peak as this board's getting, but no, we didn't even talk about the fact that you could have Turn Silence. So what are you going to do with Turn Silence? Well, it's pretty freaking awesome. So I mentioned earlier you should have 2 counters on this because it was summoned off the wonderful Gandora, and you get a 3rd counter because your opponent draws at the start of their turn, right? Well, there's something I didn't mention, and okay, I'll just drop one of the rocks. If you turn silence, you add 3 extra levels, so bam, bam, bam. Each of these rocks is worth 500 life points, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You are currently on 4,000 attack and a spell negated, and Dragoon's over here too. And once he negates, he's also on 4,000 with a spell negate. So, it's kind of cool like that. But let me know what you think of this deck. Turn Silence, I see its merit. It still feels a bit janky. Like, it just doesn't come up all the time. I think the 1 is fine, but when it did come up today, it was quite big. Literally, it makes your monster quite big. But the thing is, if you have to use Turn Silence with, like, any of the other cards, like, it does nothing. I think that was a big missed opportunity. Like, I understand Silent Swordsman 0 and Silent Magician 0 are, like, the level modulation guys who are meant to gain, damage with levels. But even if Gadget Trio gained attack with levels, it would make Turn Silence, more useful with Gadget Trio. Because otherwise, I'm flipping this on my opponent's turn, giving Gadget Trio 3 levels for no real reason. And then my opponent, I can negate something, yes, if I do it in response to them. But it's still kind of, pointless, whereas on these, there's a point. But pretty much nothing else in the deck cares about the level modulation. I think that was a massive missed opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Gandora doesn't care. The Summon Skull doesn't care. The Dark Magician, like, none of these care about the +3 level, right? It's like, almost like, why the hell is it even on there? So yeah, I get it. You're meant to use it with the silence, but hello, we're all in the same archetype. Why wouldn't, like, this help the rest of the archetype a bit more? I don't know. They always seem to screw up anime archetypes a little bit, but except Yubel, that deck's kind of popping cheeks, but. And hey, the new Blue Eyes cards as well. Well, now that I think about it, I just get depressed because, you know what, actually, it's just DM that they managed to screw up. But that's cool. One day, DM will get another card that's as good as Dragoon, and life will be good. But anyway, let me know what you think of the profile down in the comments. Droll is definitely a massively played hand trap at the moment, so if you wanted to play 3, because it's really good into Fiendsmith, I would say do it. If you just want to play 1 or 2 for crossout targets, I would also say that's a great call. Shift is still pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like this deck, it can't go second too often or you just lose. For example, if you verse the Fiendsmith, not Fiendsmith, Gimmick Puppet OTK, if you verse that and you go, oh, well, I'm going to go second with Gandora X, you're just going to lose, so I don't know. I'm playing cards for going second, and we'll get into more of them in the extra deck right now. First things first, though, you got to have yourself 3 Egyptian gods. Make sure you got your Egyptian god tokens. Once you got them, you're good. 1 cosmic, because reasons. I should have more, but I don't. Anyway, 3 Dark Ruler, 1 Regeki, 2 Lightning Storm. There should be more going second. Yeah, there is. Triple evenly matched, because this is the card I normally side in going second. I normally don't side in these. I don't know why I'm playing so many going second cards and then I just side it evenly. I think because Super Poly's already in their main, so I kind of just do this with Super Poly and I feel like it's enough. So I might even change these 6 slots to, like, I don't know, more going first. I don't know, I just never side them in, but I guess they're there for, like, certain decks, you could say. I'm sure there'll be a scenario where I feel they're more appropriate, but evenly is just kind of always good, so evenly based. For going first stuff, we have Eradicator, because you can't tribute Gandora, sadly, but you can tribute Dark Magician. Though I have thought about playing like Crush card, because Gandora is kind of always 0 turn 1, and it's a free summon anyway, so we could do something with the virus cards in these two. That's what I've been kind of thinking about lately for going first. But I never sided them in today, because, I don't know, it's just kind of too risky when I can just side in this card, and it kind of can just do the same sometimes, so... Judgment's cool, but because we already pay half our life points with Gandora, it can be quite scary to Judgment. I just think the turn 1 combo where you have to use Gandora is kind of rough. You might be better off just not doing that. But I don't know, the deck doesn't really have a combo unless you use the Gandora effect, but the Gandora effect costs half your life. I don't think it's worth half your life, but... Damn, this deck is just kind of bad. Especially with Fiendsmith, not Fiendsmith, I keep saying Fiendsmith. Gimmick Puppet FTK running around, like, paying half your life is so freaking bad, so... This is probably a back to the drawing board moment. I don't think Judgment's very good right now, unless you're versing Fiendsmith, what's it called, Snake Eyes, or just other decks that don't try to burn you for game, but even then. Judgment with the board we mentioned earlier, the setup with Dragoon and Harbinger, or Silent Magician, and having a Judgment set as well is pretty sensational, but... You know, outside of that, I think there's a lot of improvement that could happen in this side deck. And I think there's a lot of improvement that could happen in this deck in general. I think it needs more support. I kind of want to play more engine, but there's no more engine to play. Like, playing the Archfiend doesn't really help with anything. It takes away the normal summon of the deck. You get to steal an opponent's monster. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Like, I'd rather normal gadget and go get a card kind of thing most of the time. Maybe I'm wrong and the Archfiend's a great one-off, but the fact that it just doesn't special itself like these two is so weird to me, you know? This deck almost seems like they had some good ideas and then they just, like, fumbled the bag. Like, I don't know why these two would special themselves, but the Archfiend wouldn't. I don't know why level modulation and level, like, stuff matters for, like, just the silence. Like, I get it in theory, but maybe it should have extended to more than just the silence. Since, you know, we were going to have generic spells that we search that actually care about our levels. But, who knows? What do I know about card games and Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically? I've only been playing it for my whole freaking life. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the deck. Is it better than my last one? I feel like this is an updated build. I know I mentioned last time I would have played Fenrir instead of some crossouts and Village. But guess what, guys? A genius in my comment section pointed out if you summon Fenrir first and then do the Gandora combo, like, you're going to nuke your field anyway. So, not really any point playing Fenrir. And I was like, yeah, good point. Good point. But what I might do next time is probably put Nadir and Branded Fusion in. But I feel like I'm just going to do that in every deck I play now. But that's just kind of how it is. It would be nice to have Nadir, the Ecclesia package, like Ecclesia just in general existing in this deck, I think would be quite nice. Even Dogmatic and Punishment in this deck, because we don't care too much about extra deck. Could be really nice. But we also are playing Prosp, so a part of me doesn't want to commit to, like, Branded Fusion or Nadir if I'm going to play Prosp, because that's a lot of extra deck slots I have to dedicate and therefore have to banish. So, I don't know. It's a little bit rough. It's a little bit rough. I mean, I do it in the ref build, though, so I guess it's doable, but it would probably need an entire extra deck rework, and I don't know if I can be bothered for that right now. But overall, I just think the deck needs a consistent way to get to this. Dare I say it, I think if a Link 1 came out for Dark Magician and for Shining Sark that, like, supported both decks, just let you add Shining Sark and or DM-related Spell Trap, damn, that'd be perfect. Just give us that Link 1 that branches these two decks together as well. That'd be sensational. Hitting Shining Sark is pretty much everything you need to do here. So, yeah, I don't know. More cards. Konami, we need more cards that get Shining Sark. Because getting ashed, I got dropleted on Gadget's normal. I got impermed. Every hand trap under the sun today happened. Gadget went and got this, and then I got drolled. Like, too many things happened where I couldn't get to Shining Sark. Or I could get to Shining Sark, and then I couldn't search anymore. So, I don't know. I guess we need more ways to Shining Star. A way to activate Shining Star straight from the deck. That's probably what we need. Maybe the DM Link one can do that too for Eternal Soul. Who knows? Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because it's your boy Loza with the DM content coming at you. But now I'm peacing out. Later. Also, this is a Starlight, so that's very cool. All right, later.